All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro on a Friday. Yeah, we're having some fun today. Brian Salmon from Channel 3, sports anchor in studio.
Whoa.
And we do have a huge announcement to make. We can't make it until Monday night.
I'm interested.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's a big Vegas Take announcement, JD. Is that fair to say?
How big is it?
I would say it's definitely a game changer for the Vegas Take.
Yes. As Brian Salmon, his favorite guy, Donald Trump, would say,
one more thing.
It's huge.
I will say one more thing. It is not a guest.
No,
guest, huh?
it's not a guest.
It is not a guest.
So take it for what you want. A big announcement on the Vegas Take. We'll be making that scheduled for Monday night. So that'll be a lot of fun. And again, as I mentioned on Monday, Kim Goldman, the sister to the late Ronald Goldman, will be joining us on Monday. We've got Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach, Hall of Fame trainer, will be joining us on Wednesday. And it's going to be a fun time. Okay, so I'm a huge basketball guy like you are, Brian.
Yes.
I know you are as well. And basketball is a passion of mine. I love watching it. And I cannot recall an NBA offseason that has been more exciting than this one. It has been unreal, and it seems like almost everything has happened during NBA Summer League, which is even more crazy, right? But I just want to read off to you these tandems in the NBA, because you could also make the argument, and we'll talk about this, about the parity in the league now.
Okay.
You've got Russell Westbrook and James Harden. That's pretty exciting in Houston. You have LeBron and AD.
Yeah.
Also extremely exciting. And by the way, I don't think the Lakers are done. You've got Kawhi and Paul George.
That was the most shocking.
That's unbelievable. Let's not, and everyone, nobody wants to talk about Golden State now, okay? Let's keep in mind, they still have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. That's still a really good basketball team.
And they picked up D'Angelo Russell, who was an all-star.
Yes, let's not forget, again, I don't know, nobody knows how Kevin Durant's going to be when he comes back. But still, eventually it's going to be Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. That's very exciting in the East as well.
That's crazy.
But what do you make of all this? And let's not forget, the MVP of the league is in Milwaukee. So
yes, and they still have Middleton, who just signed like that $109 million, gazillion, whatever it is.
So this is really an exciting time for the NBA.
He's really overrated.
You want to talk about parity in the NBA.
Yeah.
They got it. And I made this debate yesterday, or this discussion. You go back to the 80s. Yeah, there was some good parity in the league, but there were still the 3 or 4 top-heavy teams, and then there was a big drop-off,
I just had this conversation like a couple days ago.
You can make the argument, the NBA championship, I'm not going to say completely wide open, okay? I don't think the Detroit Pistons are going to be winning the NBA championship. However, Houston's in the discussion now.
Yeah.
Certainly the Lakers are right there as a co-favorite.
They're the favorite.
Absolutely the Clippers are in that conversation.
Man.
Listen, say what you want about the Golden State Warriors. They still are a championship caliber team with really good players, so I think they deserve to be in. I'm not saying they're going to win the championship, but they're still at the level where they deserve to be in the conversation.
The Warriors are going to miss the playoffs next year.
No, they're not. You're right.
Absolutely.
No,
Steph Curry's going to miss at least 15 or 20 games.
All right, so here's what I'm going to do.
D'Angelo Russell does not play defense.
Fine.
Steph Curry does not play defense. Klay Thompson made Steph Curry look better defensively than he actually was.
Really?
I will make you a wager right now on the air.
And I would love to see Draymond Green even as a number 2 option.
Okay, here's the deal. The loser of this bet has to take both of us to dinner. So Brian is in a win-win situation here, okay? a dinner of your choosing, okay? I say the Golden State Warriors absolutely 100% are one of the 8 teams in the West that make the playoffs.
Me too.
Is that a verbal bet? On the air, JD, will you make that bet with me right now?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah,
why the 3-second hesitation?
Because we're not betting money. We're betting dinner.
It's a dinner.
I'm just not used to it.
It's a dinner.
It's out of my comfort zone. I wager dollars, not dinners typically, but I'll switch it up this time. That's fine.
All right,
and a dramatic pause. He put a little drama in there, a little bit of drama.
The Golden State were okay. So name me the teams that make it into the Western Conference playoffs. Then obviously you got the Clippers. You've got the Houston Rockets. Okay, obviously you have who else?
Lakers.
You have the LA Lakers. The Blazers absolutely make the playoffs. Okay, name me the next 4. Do the Memphis Grizzlies make the playoffs?
No. Absolutely not.
Okay, so name me the next 4.
Pelicans.
No.
You think the Pelicans have a better chance of making the playoffs than the Golden State Warriors?
Have the best defensive backcourt right now in basketball, and it's not even close.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
I bet $9 gazillion.
Jrue Holiday, Josh Hart.
They're better than Paul George and Patrick Beverly?
I'm saying defensive backcourt.
And Paul George and Patrick Beverly?
Patrick Beverly is a 1, but Paul George is a 3.
No. No, he's a 2.
He's a 2?
Yeah.
He's going to play 2 for the Clippers?
Yes, he's a 2. Kawhi Leonard's the 3. Montez Harrell, I think, is probably the 4, and I don't know who their 5 is.
Zubac's the 5.
All right, well, we can agree to disagree on that one, but give me 3 more teams that make the playoffs.
And they have Harkless, too.
Give me 3 more teams
they picked up Harkless.
Give me 3 more teams that make the playoffs if Golden State does not.
Yeah, we're at 4.
Give me 3 more.
Okay, who we said so far?
We're at 4. Clippers, Lakers, Blazers,
Houston.
Rockets.
Yep.
Oh, Utah,
5.
And the Pelicans.
Nuggets.
The Pelicans are not made. Yeah, that's 6 with the Nuggets.
Nuggets will get in the playoffs. I agree with
6.
that.
Absolutely.
But that's only 6 teams.
And the Warriors.
You got to give me 2 more.
He said Pelicans, but there's no way Pelicans make the playoffs.
Okay, they could be the 8th seed. They could be the 7th.
Oh, boy. We got the bet in.
No, that's
we got
fine.
The bet in.
That's fine. That's fine. That's all right.
I can taste that. I am going to get the most expensive steak at the most expensive steakhouse, and I'm going to tell Brian Salmon to order the lobster, the surf and turf, at the most expensive steakhouse in Las Vegas. I'm going to torture you with this bet all year long. The Golden State Warriors are going to make the playoffs. Anyway,
we should say a caveat. As long as Steph Curry doesn't get injured.
No. That's not fair to him. If somebody gets injured, that's not fair to him.
They're not making if Steph Curry
he's on the wrong side of 30 and his ankles aren't good.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people in the league that if they get hurt, look, if LeBron gets hurt, if DeMarcus Cousins is not healthy, I think the Clippers are a better team.
Well, even if DeMarcus Cousins is completely healthy, the Clippers are still a better team.
I'm not so sure about that. Do you agree with that, JD? I think if you have a healthy DeMarcus Cousins with Davis. See, here's my problem.
Well, yeah, because I put a premium on defense.
Yeah.
But here's
that
my
Lakers team's not playing defense. LeBron hasn't played in 3 years.
Exactly. He sure has not.
Here's my one issue here.
And who's their 1? Is it LeBron? LeBron's going to play the 1?
Mm-hmm.
And again, Rondo's going to be your spot-up shooter.
Here's my issue with the Lakers.
Come on.
LeBron has not always been very consistent shooting the basketball.
No.
Davis is a beast anywhere around the paint.
Yes.
LeBron is going to have to take more jump shots, right? I think we all could agree on that. When you have Davis in there, he's most likely going to be – he's not going to be taking the ball to the basket as much, I don't think. So with that being said, I think that's an issue. That is an issue with the chemistry of the Lakers, so I can see that.
I love betting against a team LeBron is on if he thinks he's a three-point shooter.
He's not.
I love that.
He's not going to change his straight. He'll still go to the rack. Anthony Davis is a good shooter, so Anthony Davis he's going to turn Anthony Davis into Chris Bosh, and it's going to end up being bad.
If Cousins, Davis, and James all think they're three-point shooters,
I know.
Here's somebody we haven't even brought up though.
And yes, who's playing defense on that team?
Well, Avery Bradley.
Yes.
We haven't even brought this up with the Blazers.
KCP a little bit.
But they're not even
How about
playing.
C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard? I mean, we haven't even begun.
Said Portland, yeah.
But I mean, what a two-person tandem that is.
How about Damian Lillard doing this? And really, that was the last time you've seen OKC.
You know when you watch those old Bugs Bunny reruns and there's like an Acme bomb. He basically just exploded the entire Thunder organization. He literally set them back 5 years
with that shot.
So we had Rick Pitino on the show yesterday, and as you know, Billy Donovan worked for Rick Pitino,
that's right.
and they're very good friends. And Pitino said,
he coached him.
Yeah, he did. And Pitino said, "Boy, I really feel for my guy because who does he have in OKC right now? It's been completely dismantled." Chris Paul's not going to play
Chris Paul's gone.
So where do you think Paul's going to go?
I bet he ends either Miami or L.A. Somehow they're going to try to get him in with the Lakers.
I remember
so they can work out like a buyout or some kind of something. He gets cut or I don't know.
I remember there was a situation in Houston where
let's say he ends up on the Lakers, and he's the one. He's still 35 years old.
I think he's 34.
He's 35. He'll be 35. No, he's 34 now, but he'll be 35 when the season starts.
Wow.
I remember there was a situation in Houston where Chris Paul and James Harden were kind of getting into it a little bit verbally on the court, and there were a lot of moments where that happened. And you can read James Harden's lips clearly when James Harden said, "It's always something with you." That's what James,
really?
Yes, and I see the video. It's the same time where I remember Kevin Durant got into it with Draymond Green, and as Kevin Durant's walking away from Draymond, he says, "That's why I'm out of this, mother effer." Not going to say the F word.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
Just drop it. It's fine.
You can read his you can read his lips. Well, you can take over the show then, JD. But
just drop it.
No, but fine. I mean, when you look at moments like that, you remember it. And there was no way Kevin Durant was staying in Golden State. It just wasn't going to happen.
No. And you know what, though? That really drives me crazy. Kevin Durant, do you want to win? Do you want to win or do you want to be the man on the team or whatever? You're already the man on the team.
Why is he so insecure, though? Why does he always have to prove he's one of those guys that always has, always has the monkey on his back?
I think a lot of that is media driven. A lot of that's media driven. He hasn't really had the opportunity to be the number one guy. He joined the Warriors when they had already won a championship and basically made them unbeatable. That team with KD,
you can't beat them
without Cousins was borderline, and with Livingston and Iguodala was borderline. By the way, the Warriors don't have those guys anymore. Livingston, they waived. Iguodala's gone.
Who
was playing defense for the Warriors? Alfonso McKinney.
What did you?
Draymond Green and Kevin.
What did you?
Willie Cauley-Stein.
Well, actually, he's a pretty good defender.
He's a decent defender.
But you mentioned Iguodala. Brian? What did you make of this story? Iguodala knew he was on his way out in Golden State, and he criticized the doctors there. And he said when he had a broken leg, they said it was a bruise. And he brought that up because of what happened with Kevin Durant. Obviously, Durant, looking back on it, he should have never been out there. But what did you make of that when Iguodala kind of threw the Golden State Warriors under the bus?
I heard is like the media tour because he was pushing his book. I think really what he was doing what like the New England Patriots do and all NBA teams do. Like they say something to the media, but the player knows what it is, and they know what it is. You know what I mean? They don't want to put out there that, like, say Kevin Durant's injury. I knew at the time. I think it was a partial tear of his Achilles. I don't think it was a calf strain.
Well, if it was a calf strain, why would they keep him out for 6 weeks and not tell you? Okay,
exactly.
Yeah,
but remember when Dominique, when the human,
so they made up something. They don't say exactly what it was. I tore my Achilles.
Okay, so Dominique Wilkins was never the same player. That's probably the most famous player that I could think of where it really affected his career.
Well, Kobe.
Yeah, but Kobe came back strong.
Kobe's no. His career ended.
You're talking about the end. Yeah.
He tore his Achilles.
You're talking about the end, but I'm talking about
done.
Okay, but he wasn't in his prime. Dominique Wilkins was in his prime when he tore his Achilles.
And he came back. He was the only player to come back and actually play well after his Achilles.
He played well, but he was never close to the same player.
The thing with KD is he's never been 6'9". He's 7 foot, and he can now start listing himself at his actual height as a 5 or a 4. But he's tall. He's tall and he's a good shooter, so he's still going to score some points. But he's going to be the same player? Absolutely not. And if you look at DeMarcus Cousins, who tore his Achilles as well, it makes you susceptible to more injuries in your legs.
See,
that area is not very strong. You have to think about that as well.
See, as a guy speaking who's probably the only one in this room who's actually torn his Achilles and still play a lot of basketball, I did it when I was 24 years old. And honestly, it comes when you come. After you do it, you come back and it's stronger. It's literally stronger. They do the surgery, they put it on there like that. As long as you have good physical therapy, and I was slightly built. I was probably like 160 pounds at the time. Kevin Durant slightly built. DeMarcus Cousins, being that he's so heavy.
He's so heavy, I agree.
Yeah, that hurts him. I bet you that KD comes back and he's not much different than he is.
By the way,
he's not explosive player.
I just want to say you are.
But when you came back, you weren't playing 3 hours a day, 82 games a year.
No, I was not. But I was playing a lot of basketball. I was in college, so I mean, I was playing a lot of basketball. And had the whole atrophy. And this, mind you, this is 25 years ago, so things are different now.
You are correct, though. Nobody in this room other than the U.S. tore their Achilles. I did wake up from the bed this morning and I pulled my groin. I was thinking of going to.
How many times? Whoa!
I was thinking of going into Chinatown. I was thinking of going to Chinatown today and getting a massage.
Whoa!
I did pull my groin waking up. It's interesting when you get old. You make these noises.
Shout out to 888 Steakhouse.
Yeah, there you go. No, like I sit down and I wake up and I make all these real moaning noises and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm just getting old. I don't know what's happening. I can't imagine these guys in their 30s that are getting seriously hurt out there on the floor. I mean, they're professional athletes.
Think about it. They have masseuses.
They have hyperbaric chambers now.
Massage.
No, I don't know. Masseuse.
Professional masseuse.
They have massage, ujiris all over the place.
Yes. Women or men? I don't know.
No, how do you say masseuse?
Masseuse.
That's plural?
Yeah.
Singular?
Masseuse is.
Is it?
I don't know. Let's call one of those massage parlors and find out. Let's call Mr. Kraft. Let's see what Mr. Kraft. Mr. Kraft has certainly some experience here.
By the way, Robert, I have a very important question for you.
Yeah. Mr. Kraft, how long did you last? I was in and out of there in about 4 minutes. Yeah, that's.
I'm glad you asked me that, Brian. Hey, so what about the Pacers in the East? They got a lot better. They added Malcolm Brogdon, T.J. Warren. They have Miles Turner. Domantas Sabonis.
And they're getting back Oladipo. Oladipo.
They get Oladipo back.
Yeah. And they have Sabonis still, right?
They do have Sabonis,
yeah, yes. And they made the playoffs last year without Oladipo, without Brogdon.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to be.
And the West is so strong; they're just going to eat each other. It's
going to be fun.
You look at the Pelicans. Dude, the Pelicans added Derek Favors. Did you know that?
Yeah, I'm
they
not a
JJ
huge.
Redick.
That's a good ad. I'm not a huge Favors guy because I think he's a smaller DeMarcus Cousins. He's zero athletic ability to me. He's decent around the basket,
but he knows his game. He's not going to shoot a three.
He's not.
He's not going to turn the ball over. That's what it is. When a guy who thinks they can shoot threes shoots a three, it is a turnover.
It's ridiculous.
You don't have to worry about that with a guy like Favors.
No, you're right. He plays the game that he knows that he can play.
Can you guys mind if I switch topics here real quick? We only got a few more minutes to go.
We're not going back to OJ, are we?
No, we're not going to OJ.
Why not?
Your favorite topic, Donald Trump. No, seriously, though. He affected me today. So I have a friend that's flying in from Wisconsin. And he was supposed to land at 6:30.
Okay.
But he landed late today. Why? Because President Trump was in town. Now, that just pisses me off.
President is in Vegas?
No, in Wisconsin. So it had something to do with the flight delays.
You probably can't take off or whatever.
I mean, that's the worst, right? When you don't support the guy, and I'm not a Trump supporter, obviously.
And you're affected by him?
Yeah, and he's affecting you personally.
The nerve of
It's brutal, isn't it? Yeah. No, it's brutal.
You should impeach him for that.
They should. They should impeach him for that. I agree. I agree completely. No, but I don't really talk about. I was going to ask you about this because I'm not really crazy about talking about politics outside of the show. Gotcha. I don't. When people start talking, I'm like, listen, man, this is kind of what I do for work. I really don't want to talk about it with you. Mm-hmm. I don't want to talk about politics.
Do people bring it up?
Yes. I'm like, listen, I don't like Donald Trump. I don't want to talk about Donald Trump because this is what I do every day on the radio. Like, do people just come up to you and say, hey, do you want to talk about the Lakers? Or, hey, how about that Aces game the other night? Does that bother you when people do that?
No, because I got into talking about sports because I do it I do it without getting paid. You know what I mean? I've done it without getting paid. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this anyway. I might try to find a job that I get paid actually talking about sports. So I don't have any problem doing it.
I love that logic.
I don't mind talking about sports, and we do that a lot on the show. But when it comes to politics, I think it's certainly off the air could get more heated than I don't mind doing it on the air and getting heated. But off the air, it's like, I'm not really interested. I really don't want to do it with somebody.
You know,
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear your reasons why you love Donald Trump and you think he's a messiah. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you bash Barack Obama. You can call us on the show and do it. That's fine. And then hopefully I can call you some names. But off
and
the
then
air,
click on you.
Yeah, exactly. But off the air, like I just have no interest in doing that.
How about this? I've actually interviewed Donald Trump.
When was this?
This was before I left, maybe 2008. Back when the UFC, it was at a UFC event, the UFC used to let us take our cameras in between fights and interview the stars that were in there watching fights. Mm-hmm. And Donald Trump was in there, and I interviewed him.
Did he make the UFC great again?
He made it great, yeah. He's the reason why the UFC is with ESPN and that they were sold for like $4 billion.
How long did you talk to him for?
It was a long interview. I have it on a DVD. I was going through like an old DVD, just looking at it. And
listen, Brian, let me tell you something. You're going to do great things in Las Vegas. You're going to do great things here. Would you like to meet my daughter, Ivanka?
Yes.
She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Yes. Trust me, if I wasn't married, I'd be dating Ivanka. She's beautiful.
See, he was actually with his son.
Which one?
Is Eric one? Is
Uday or Kusei? Which one?
I don't know. Is Eric really a name? Is that one of his?
Oh, he was with Eric.
Yeah, Eric and DTJR.
See, Eric,
or Biff or
I don't mind.
Donald Trump Jr.
I don't mind Eric as much as Don Jr. Don Jr. is a buffoon.
It might have been Don Jr. I don't know. But yeah, one of his sons, the one that looks just like him.
He's dating Kimberly Guilfoyle now. Do you know who she is? She's a very attractive woman.
Imagine that. Yeah. He's rich and he has an attractive woman
Don
that's with him.
Jr.
It's crazy.
Will you be voting for Donald Trump in 2020?
I'm twice probably.
Twice? Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow. Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for him myself, and then I'm gonna use that fake ID and vote for him again.
What do you? Okay, we only got like a minute here, but seriously though, like, do you like anybody in 2020 on the Democratic side? Anybody that you support?
You know how I've really, you know how much I've looked at what's going on in the presidential race right now.
Let me answer this question.
Absolutely
well, Screech
zero.
is running.
Oh, I was gonna say a little more than zero though.
Yeah, I was at Legoland when they had the debates because they're on Channel 3.
You're busy. You have a very beautiful beautiful family.
Oh,
so
man.
you have a lot to get. I actually went to your wedding last year. That was a very fun time. So hey,
it was something.
You're a devoted father and husband. You don't have time for all this nonsense. So I understand that.
I will pay attention. But at that time, on the different TV stations here in town, they had the debate on. It was huge.
I know.
And thankfully, I do sports, and thankfully, I was out of town in Legoland spending an absorbent amount of money on popcorn and hot dogs. And
hey, that sounds like a good time. Well, I hope this wasn't too torturous for you, Brian. Thank you so much for coming in studio.
It's over already?
It is. It is done. We want to have you in again.
Thanks, man.
We want to have you in again really soon and listen to our big announcement we're making on Monday night. Brian, thank you so much for coming on.
Yes.
I appreciate it. JD, have a good weekend. I know I will. And we will be back at you on Monday. The legend himself, Ken Thompson, coming up next, everybody. Have a great weekend, folks. Have a great night.